Studio Communications Manager, I guess, is my title at IO Interactive. That means I handle community and all sorts of wonderful people such as yourselves. This, obviously, David Bateson. We've got 15-20 minutes, give or take, of questions. So I'll do some sort of moderation. I may say no in my strongest voice if you ask crazy things, but I'm sure you don't know.
Go ahead and try it.
So just raise your hand and then I'll point if I can see you. If not, then say me, and then we'll kick it off.
How does it feel to be getting back into the role of Hitman after you kind of very publicly stated that that there wasn't kind of a role for you and you were kind of unceremoniously booted off the franchise?
Well, that's politely put. No, I'm very, very happy to be back. And it was just a business decision, and I have to, and I did fully respect that. But I must say, it's very great to be back on the franchise again. Yeah. Thanks for the question.
Yes, all right. We'll start with one.
What's your experience with the games? Have you played much of them yourself?
I have, but no, I don't know much about the new one, apart from all the obviously the sequences are voiced. So I am so looking forward to playing it myself. But my favourite one is still the Silent Assassins, St. Petersburg. That's my favourite. So I don't care what you think. My favourite sequence.
Hands? Anyone? Don't be shy. Or just,
Do you think,
or just voice.
Yes, go.
we're sort of in the games, and gaming industry and the movie industry have a love-hate relationship, and the Hitman movie came out. Well, yeah. Do you think sometimes when a movie comes out of a game that it can actually damage the reputation of the original source material?
Ooh, that's a good one, because is the short answer, because I think Hitman, the whole Hitman franchise, really demands a lot of you, especially in the beginning when it went the other way, from all the shoot-me-ups to now you have to shoot as few people as possible. What? I have to use my brain? And so that created a kind of a new demand or set of parameters for the audience. And then, in a way, you go and ruin it by making something extremely public, like a film. So, on the one hand, you think, oh, this gives publicity for the game, but it's like a book being turned into a film. It's never going to satisfy all the readers. And whether the film is good or bad, I think I'll reserve judgment on it. Right.
What did you think of the character of the film? Because the character obviously was very different to how he was portrayed.
Yeah, there was a lot of politics there. 20th Century produced the Deadwood TV series, and then obviously it was useful for them to use one of their own actors. And there was a move afoot to have me at least seen, because the marketing was largely based around, if I'm right in saying, the legend of Agent 47. That, no one knew what he looked like, and then if you knew what he looked like, you were dead. And so there was a window of opportunity, perhaps, to have used an unknown actor, such as myself. But that's not how Hollywood works. And he's a good actor, Timothy Oliphant. But I thought he was inappropriate when you saw him without hair. He just looked like, does your mummy know where you are? For me, he didn't have the weight.
Is there anyone that you would have cast instead?
We take a wild guess.
Yeah, aside from the obvious.
Well, I don't know what's become of this. Perhaps you can answer that. With Bruce Willis signing for Kane and Lynch, but actually, I think if Hollywood don't do what they do, someone like that would be appropriate, especially in this version where some years have gone by and he looks weather-beaten and he's older, and if they could only make a Hollywood film like they do in Europe, and be loyal to the franchise, which is silent assassin, you know, not knocking down helicopters with police cars and things like that. Then I think he would be still good casting.
I haven't been involved in the Hitman franchise for, you know, since kind of its inception, I guess.
Why?
Why not?
Yeah.
Do you kind of have some kind of creative input with the team sometimes? I mean, there's other series like Splinter Cell where Michael Ironside has had kind of a say in how Sam Fisher is portrayed. Do you have that same kind of level of...
Yeah, I've read about Mike Ironside, and I think he probably has more influence than I've had. But being a part of this from the beginning, which is now 12 years, I think I've had, the opportunity to get to know the character over such a long time, which has been pretty unique for me anyway. And also, I have had the opportunity during recording to say, oh, can I just try that sentence again? Why we're happy, you know. No, I think I could just give him a little more melancholy, a little more edge, but it's not in the script. Well, it should be. But so sometimes I can come with a suggestion which may or may not be used, and on other occasions I'm also in a position to say, could we say something slightly differently? But I will say that it's become such a very well-oiled machine, the recording process, that there isn't the same kind of relaxed attitude. It's like 4 people in the studio going, "Oh, could you say that?" You know, so it's extremely professional now. It's pretty locked down.
With the evolution of the game from say 12 years ago to today and the new game coming out, what do you think fans are going to get the most out of with the recent release?
Well, yeah, I was trying to pick the brains of someone who played it just now, and I went, oh, because I don't know. But I think the element of being able to have an overview of where people are or where they're going, I think that adds to the game, because it could have been frustrating in the past because it was so demanding. I'm thinking now of the last game and the one before, where there were limited opportunities to save at a point where you spent ages to get into the kill, and then you were taken out or you ran out of time and couldn't get out of time. So I think that element now moves it on, is what I've seen. I think for me, I would be interested in having that opportunity to keep the game going forward. Yeah. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Can't wait. I'm just going to stare back at you.
I've got another one. You must have had quite a unique position, having not played the game yourself up until maybe recently, or have you not played it?
No, I played them all.
I mean this one.
This one I'm dying to play.
Yeah. So you must have a kind of unique perspective on various things that happened in the past, such as the Hitman Nuns controversy with the trailer, and that passed you by. Do you have any kind of thoughts on that?
Yeah, I've read about it because I'm an avid follower of Hitman Forum and other sites, but also in the media. And I thought, well, those nuns could come knocking on my door any time. But no, I don't have any opinion as to what's appropriate. I mean, you know, there are probably some nuns out there going, well, it's not the way we do things. You know. But I leave those kind of tasteful decisions to IO and Square Enix, you know, as to what's appropriate. I just go, yeah, man, yeah. Yeah.
Are there any characters that influenced you when you portrayed Agent 47 through the games?
Me? Funny enough, I mean, I'm not a killer.
No, as your portrayal.
Some people I'd like to kill. So, you know, no, but I mean me, in the sense that they could never have known that, but just part of my upbringing was very kind of fragmentary. You know, I just moved around a lot, went to a lot of schools in the space of like 9 schools, I think, 12 years. But so I kind of grew up feeling like I didn't quite belong or have a connection to things. So when he was searching, you know, for his maker, I wanted to have some kind of sense to, or get in touch with his own humanity, I thought, well, you know what, this I can relate to. And I think that's where I sneaked in a few of my own interpretations of delivering some lines. I don't know if they were kept or used, but it has been commented on, that element of Agent 47, the kind of aloneness he has to live with, and that I feel kind of quite personally protective about. But I am very happy and well adjusted. But yes, I have used elements of myself in the way I've said the lines.
How is it voicing a video game character where you kind of have to think about that sort of thing? I mean, a lot of video game characters are accused of not having a lot of depth, so how is it
this is what was fabulous about this, because I was just almost by accident asked to voice the first game when I was in a sound studio, and they were in turn asked by the founders of IO Interactive, hey, do you know anyone who could do the voice? And they went, yeah, we do. And so I kind of stumbled on the job. But I suddenly found myself thinking, this is getting back a bit to what I was saying to you, that it felt very right. And then I was thinking, I look like the guy. And so, no, the way it demands of you as a player really appealed to me, because I had played single shooters before, but you kind of lose interest, for me, I do personally, because it's just going, yeah, well, I've killed everyone now on board. And here you have to really, really commit to playing the game, because it won't let you off the hook. And I think that's what's been quite a unique part of the fan base, is that they're a really, really dedicated group of people who've walked through fire to get through every level because you had to. And so, yeah, the short answer is that this game demands of you in a way that I think, especially initially, they didn't in the single shooters. And I find that very appealing.
Yeah, you've spoken a bit about, as you say, that the difference between this and regular shooters. Have you heard of the contracts mode that's in Absolution, where you can establish your own through contracts and show them online?
I haven't heard the full story of that, but yes, but you tell me.
It is literally a case of you play through a level and you can
just
assign kills and things, and then however you structure the mission, you can then send that to other people to try and beat your scores by killing in a similar kind of way. I was just wondering if you had any thoughts on that, but obviously...
Not yet, but I'm going to have lots of fun.
You can email us next week.
Yeah, no, seriously, I mean, I had heard that element. It's kind of an interactive element as well. And I don't know enough about gaming to know if other games have challenged in the same way.
It was fairly unique because of the fact that you are planning the kills yourself. It's not there's no set mission for you. You're sharing it with other people.
It's like a bee job.
Yeah, almost, yeah.
All right. I look forward to that.
Obviously, I'm assuming there is very little that you voiced there, because obviously players are
Yes,
making it themselves.
I think so, because I'm not aware of that.
There's nothing bespoke.
Yeah. Damn. Yeah.
How long did it take to voice the first game, and how long for this one?
Very short the first time round. I mean, it's like, hey, what are you doing? Ooh, nothing. Come in and voice the game. Of course, there was preparation, but by comparison, yeah, next to nothing compared to now, which this last one.
And why is that? Why has it taken a long time?
No, this time around it was a lot more motion cap and film sequences. I mean, which are extraordinary filming. I mean, they're just real, and they're also, they feel more integrated into the story instead of kind of top and tailing in the old way. And the other thing about it is that the manuscript is so much denser, with layers and layers. And the third thing is that we had lots of people sitting in the studio. As I say, about 4 people every time. So it wasn't just, how was that take? Good with the engineer? Fine. Now there was a lot of discussion to and fro about, could you do it a bit more? There was a lot of attention to detail, extraordinary, which was very satisfying.
Right. am I right in thinking that you did some of the motion capture, or was it a different person that did some of the performance?
No, it wasn't me.
Okay.
Wasn't it on this one?
Yeah.
No.
This particular one, yeah. Because with games development going the way it is, there are a lot of companies, especially with franchises as old as Hitman from back in the 90s.
We're really old.
I feel old myself. So with franchises, you know, kind of as prestigious as Hitman starting in the 90s, it's starting to get to a point where development companies are starting to kind of replace the traditional voice actors with someone who can do both the voice and the performance capture at the same time.
Yeah.
Do you worry that you might that might happen to you with future Hitman games? Would you like to kind of be in a position where you're continuing what you're doing at the moment, where you're the voice and there's another?
Well, having been replaced once, it's just a fact of life. I mean, I would leap at the opportunity to be even more involved. You know, if in the next game, if I was a part of it, they needed motion cap, I'd go, ooh, me. You know, so I don't think that's been the issue. In the past, I think we've used stuntmen and different people in Denmark, and of course this time it was the other actor who was used. So no, I'd jump at the opportunity.
Okay. Sorry, a follow-up question. Going on, apart from larger scripts, what would you say has been like the main differences in your job and the games industry in general between the first Hitman game and working on, say, Hitman Absolution today?
I'm not sure if I understand the question. How do you mean? You mean
so how has your kind of role changed? Into either has it been more dramatic or more?
Yes. I mean, don't worry, you weren't putting words into my mouth.
No.
It has become more dramatic in the sense that the drama has become very intense and well scripted. I mean, it really is now. You can't just. I don't think you could do it before, but definitely not now. You can't just sit down and go, oh, I'll just play 10 minutes of this and then I'll go and catch the bus. You kind of really get involved in another level that I've experienced, and added to which that interactive element. I think you get a fuller experience. I mean, I'm curious to think, what's the next step? We're going to it's going to be 3D, you put in a mask and you're there, in the room. Who knows, but the industry, the gaming industry, is huge now and increasing faster than we were probably even aware. You guys are more aware of it than most. So I don't know where the future's going, but it's definitely demanding more, and the audience is also becoming much more sophisticated. So I think the future looks bright.
Cool, thank you.
A couple more and then that's it.
Yeah, it's party time.
Did you have much interaction with the rest of the cast for Absolution?
Nothing whatsoever. I'm absolutely gutted. No, I didn't. I didn't get to meet Alice Booth or Keith Carradine or the others, unfortunately. But that's also typical of a film set. You know, oh, you work with so-and-so. No, I never met him. But you just don't meet each other. And by the time the premiere comes around, you're all doing other films. So it's actually rare that you get to meet the whole team. Pity.
To drop in a hypothetical, if you hadn't worked on 47 and all the sequels, what would you have ideally liked to, in the gaming sphere, which game would you have dreamed about portraying?
Oh, that's a good one. I don't actually know enough. I love being a hero. But it's more fun to play villains. So anything where I could... Here I kill people for money. I'd do it for free in other games, but I'd probably be a villain. Much more fun. I would tell that to my family.
We've all got it recorded, don't worry.
Thanks for that. I'll kill you for free also.
Yeah, do you find that your portrayal of Agent 47 has made you more interested in the gaming industry? Or?
Definitely. And I'll tell you why. Because I didn't know gaming could be so involving. And I think that was my underestimating the whole form for entertainment. Because I started by saying earlier, I love playing a kind of a single shooter, but I'd kind of get bored. I'm thinking, oh, I've killed everyone now. Oh, I suppose I could play it again and close my eyes. But you know, I lost interest, and I think as the industry is becoming more and more advanced, both the audience and the producers are having to think of new ways to keep each other engaged, if it's interactive or if it's just demanding more of you, instead of going, okay, you can't give up now, we're not going to let you save until you get to, oh, I'm tired. You know, it just, you have to keep going. And I find that relationship interesting in the same way as I do as an actor on the stage, when you're demanding people sitting in the dark to suspend their disbelief and pretend that you are Macbeth, or, you know, there's something weird that both the audience and the actor need each other, and it's the same with producers and the gaming community. They kind of inspire each other to raise the bar.
Thank you.
Hope that answer made sense.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
That's all. Thank you. And have a